start ha, mas balik po what we felt. Okay, the dominant characteristics when we talk about Anglo-Saxons are blends of Christianity and paganism. If you're going to notice, most of the literature are religion and then pagan mga characteristic, no? Heroes and monsters. Monsters, evils. It's actually the fight between good and bad. And I like the theme. War, epics, and adventures. Ana ang Anglo-Saxon literature. Anglo-Saxons are also called First Englishmen. They are also called Germanic tribes who actually came from Germany. Tama? Okay, so they actually converted by the Romans into Christianity. Okay, pagan man sila, no, gikan, they're actually nature worshippers. No, pag-abot sa mga Romans, most specifically Saint Augustine, he converted them, the first English people, into Christian people. So from being pagan, nahimo sila mga believer of Christ. That is why, if you're going to look into the texts, no, and literature of the time, puro gyud religious. Tapos na ay blend sa mga cannibalism, na ay blend sa mga monsters, mga evils, demons, ana. Okay? Again, Christianity, religious, plus paganism. Ana ang Anglo-Saxons. Pag-abot sa Middle Age or medieval period, nawala ang paganism. Nagpabilin ang Christianity. That's our topic this time. Middle English literature. I hope ang una ninyong buhaton is to give us the characteristics of Middle English literature. Sige. I'm so excited kasi pinalesson plan ang dating. Education yun din ay.
Before we start our discussion,
Iba na yung objectives.
learning objectives.
Sige. AB4.
AB4, sorry, that's it. A is define and explain the historical and cultural context of the Middle English period, including significant events, social structures, and literary influences. B is analyze and interpret Middle English literary texts, including their use
Hindi na tayo mag-analyze ha. Hindi na tayo mag-analyze. Mag-survey na yun ta. Nagkan kayo na. Sige, sunod.
And the last one is critically assess the contributions of specific Middle English authors.
Pwede ba? Pwede ka na mag-assess. Pero ay hindi sa ta mag-interpret kung analyze kayo. Naman, it will take us time to do that. Okay, go.
Okay. Middle English literature is also defined the epic adventures and heroes and a devotion to God. So it's all about Christianity, as what I have said, sir, earlier. So the English language is a member of an extensive group of languages called Indo-European language family. So for those who don't know, Indo-European family is those family of languages that was spoken over the greater Europe and Asia. So the language family can be divided into several branches and sub-branches, which is the West Germanic branch, German, Dutch, Afrikaans, Frisians, and Yiddish. So the history of English language divides into three groups: the Old English, Middle English, and the Modern English. So we'll talk about the Middle English literature. Next is when was the Middle English literature started? So it was started in 1100s Christ era. So then is English language first known as English. English siya. Next is so we have the Old English and the Norman French. So before is Old English was spoke by the upper class and the upper
of the British Isle when the Normans defeated the Anglo-Saxons in the Battle of Hastings. If you still remember that one. Most probably, yes, the English language becomes a mix. There's a mixture of French and English. Kaya ano, nakita ko sa una, pag monstorya kang English, anak, kay dapat French. Kunya ang French kay gikan mag-Latin, so there's a mix of Latin again. So, ibalik ang Latin. So, Latin has a big influence really in the development of English language. Yan nga, way back history of the English people, when you speak during the Middle English, the medieval period, musturya kag English dito, pinakapobre nga language, English. Pangdato nga language, French. O, di ba? Dumating sa buhay ni English, naging alila siya. So, Ana.
So, sa una po is a person living today cannot understand old English texts unless they learn to read them as a foreign language. So, my part is about the background of the Middle English literature. So, the next reporter will report their some notable works of the Middle English literature. So, that's the other one.
Dili ba ako? Sisil ko nila. Kasi mo ko. Okay na to niya.
So notable important thing that you're gonna remember when I talk about Middle English, when it comes to language. No, when it comes to language, this is another track. When it comes to language, Middle English, a blend of katong Old English and the French. And naging Middle English siya. So kung lisod siya ang Old English, i-blend pag yun siya of French. Kung sa Middle English, i-ano ang word, ano siya?
Kana ko nga.
Abot, I don't know, simple siya or mas lalo siya lisod. Actually, marag, laro-laro na ang Middle English. Kay, ang Middle English, after Middle English, ang Modern English, di ba? Dual na siya. Dual na siya sa modern. No? So, mas masabtan pa lang ang middle gamay compare sa Old English. Diba? Ngayon na ako kung okay.
The important events of 1966, the events that began the transition from Old English to Middle English was the Norman
Conquest. Or Norman invasion. Another term.
In 1150, approximate date of the earliest surviving text of Middle English.
Around 10th century up to the 11th century. Katura?
Sige na ako mga story.
Napa.
Sige, sunod. Sige, presentation mode. Presentation mode.
Na, relax lang mo mag.
In 1171, Henry II declares himself overlord of the Ireland, introducing Norman French and English to their country. So, in that time, Henry II, his motivation for asserting lordship is to expand his territorial holding, asserting his authority over an adjacent
Bumalik, pag-ibalik ko.
Yes, sir. Mula mo sila pa sa
Wala na lang diyan.
So, madlang people mabuhay. So, later in the century, under Edward, royal authority.
Under Edward
First,
the
the
First.
first royal authority is consolidated in English, and Wales English becomes the dominant language of all class. So, the Middle English period saw the breakdown of the national system of Old English and the expansion of vocabulary with meaning borrowing from French and Latin. Later in century, English becomes the dominant language of all classes. So Edward I was a strong and centralizing monarch who aimed to strengthen royal authority. He reformed legal and administrative system to assess his control over the realm. Edward's reign marked a pivotal period in English history where the consolidation of royal authority was achieved through military conquest, legal reforms, administrative centralization, and the promotion of the English language as the medium of day governance. These factors collectively contributed to English becoming the dominant language of all classes in England and Wales during this era. Next is the mid.
Everybody say era.
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 Milk. Everybody say milk. Kaya nakanawag ko, milk. I love milk. Milk. Meter. Novena. Arena. Penis. Dili siya tennis. Penis. Kung ano magtawaban?
Sir, finish na.
Dapat sa long E sound. Mga long E sound to. Oedipus. Fetus. Dili siya fetus. Fetus. Katuhan. Dili metro. Ano, one letter. Meter. Kada pong pre ha, not pre. Pre-Hispanic. Pre. Long E na siya. Pre-Hispanic. Pre-colonial. Mall of Asia. Arena. Not arena. Sige, balik ka.
Late 14th century, the Hundred Years' War between France and England leads to the loss of almost England's French position. So the Black Death deals roughly 1/3 Atlantic population. So Jewish Hauser, he composed the Canterbury Tales in Middle English. English becomes the official language of law courts and replaces Latin as the medium of instructions at most schools. John Wycliffe's English translation, the Latin Bible, is published. The Great Vowel Shift begins marking the loss of the so-called pure vowel sounds, which are still found in many continental languages. And the loss of the
GBS na natin ha. This great vowel shift. Ang mga short, mas mga great vowel shift, that's GBS, during sa middle, kay sa una kay, example, ang tuan, kanang mukbo ng mga vowels, pag-abot sa middle English, na nag-as. Like for example, still remember mga word, diba, U at ang O, nahimong U, pag-abot sa Middle English. Ang E, ang E, mo talaga ganina. Ang meter, nahimo na meter. It's a great vowel shift, GBS. Ano yung pasabot? Oo. During middle, puro tag-as yung mga vowels.
next is the important event in 19
Legend.
Sobrang the legend of
Events.
King Arthur by These manuscripts tells the famous legend of King Arthur and the knights of the Round Table. Century
Familiar mo na King Arthur?
Yes, sir.
That's during the medieval period. Ha?
Mystical, holy
20 kapin. 24 books.
The legend of King Arthur, as what I heard, is after the pagkatapos or something from the legend of King Arthur, it was the start of the many adaptation of the tales, folklore, and any literature. That is why that recently ko kasi ano nabasa sa legend of King Arthur. Next is the invention of the printing press. Do you have any idea?
Isa
Who
nag-invent.
invented? Si
Atay sa, sige. Dapat talaga wild guess. There are two types of guesses. The first is wild, the other one is intelligent. If you don't know wild, then intelligent. Yes, wild guess. Inventor of printing press. That perforate the English language in general sense. Yes. Kinsay nag-invento sa printing press nga mao ang nagpa-flourish sa English language kay broad naman iyang scope through publication of mga manuscript. J ang dili complete name. JG. Initials niya ay JG. Ha? Johannes. I don't know if it's Johannes. Johannes. Johannes Gutenberg.
I didn't.
Johannes, sir?
Johannes ako ang basta. Johannes.
N-E-S.
NNES mo siya.
N-E-S.
Johannes. Ayun na to kay French. Naman ko siya ipagka-French. Johannes. Sige, ito na to. Johannes Gutenberg. Di ba mas nice? Johannes. Yeah.
Okay, the person who invented is who? Si Johannes Gutenberg. And after that invention, there is a massive production of the manuscripts
Correct.
and books. And then most of the authors are being
Yes.
cited na.
Tungod kay ang Anglo-Saxons, oral literature. Mao gani nga kung I don't know if naka-mention ang reporter sa Anglo-Saxons nga there are several texts nga wala na gyud siya nakita kay wala na siya survive during sa Anglo-Saxons kay puso ba sa unang gira ang gira pa yun sa unang isunugay pag yun ng territories. So probably there are texts sa mga Anglo-Saxons nga daghan pa nga wala gyud na retrieve na revive. There are also fragmented texts. Isang fragmented text. Natuod pero walay sampay. Oo. I don't know if naano na sa mga surveyors, no? Gitawag mga surveyors kaya inyong kuan dire kay i-survey mo inyong tanan, ang waon ninyo nga kolektahon ninyong tanan ang mga posibleng nga mga works during sa kana nga time period.
Hindi
So,
ko
English.
scope na ka, sir.
Ha?
Ang tawag sa scope.
Oo, storytellers. They're actually storytellers. Kaya lahi man sa una, lahi ang writers, lahi po ang mag-perform on stage. Kumbaga, kita magsulat ko, magbuhat kong epic ha, ang epiko ni Juan. Kita, hi, the epic of Juan. So, ba na, o sige, perform. Tara. Of course, with the accompaniment of the lyre. Di ba, lyre is an instrument before the Greeks actually. There's a background music when you're going to, mura sa kuan, sa tawag na, Dumanin, susa, nanay background music. Ano bang style? Sa, di ba? Mas ano sila sa una, ang ilang form of entertainment together with riddles. Mga na sila, tanong sa kaboring, no? Sige, pero no, so lipay kaya sila, wow! Sa ato karon yan ay maging anak. Wala pa naman. Sa nakapart. So ano sila, grabe kayo sila katuan. Pag-abot sa storytelling, kay ang ilahang stories are actually based on adventure. Kaya nga, adventure story. Kung baga ang Anglo-Saxons. No? Tapos, pag-abot sa mga kuan, katong, isa to? Mga Vikings, okay, niabot na po itong kuan, kanang tawag Christianity, tuan, nag-blend na ang pagan o religious pact. Nakabot ako sa literature. Kanang mga good versus evil. Ano na ba? Wala Christian versus monsters. Ano ba? Hero, tapos versus mao na gan tingala ka na hala mga monsters lagi ni kuan na religious tuwa lagi kay niya po lagi tong Christianity pag convert sa ilaha na mga otro pod ang feature characteristics sa literature pero pag abot sa middle kuan wala murag nawala na gamay ang pagan more na gyud sa about Christ mo ganito even King Arthur na magic pero ang iyahang tumong is a quest asa ang Holy Grail ni Christ. Itong gianak niya ba during sa Last Supper nga mao kini nagrepresenta sa ako ang dugo. Oo, para sa paglimpyo sa tanang kana-ana. Sala kaning tinapay mao to nawala daw to. Mao to ilahang purpose ako sa story ni Kuan. Pero with the elements of magic. Oh. Kay di ba ang King Arthur the Knight of the Round Table, di ba tawag itong sword, Excalibur? Katong ang anong si King Arthur ang gitagda nga kanang siya ra nakabunot ato sa bato nga ana iya hakuan. Anak siya. Sige na. Gusto na ko mahibaw ano. Sige, gamay lang gabi. About ko at 24 books ang kana. Taas kaayo na siya. Pinakataas. Ang kisa nagsulat? Isa nagsulat sa King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table.
Mallory, no ba?
Si Thomas. Yeah, very good. Thomas? Mallory. Thomas Mallory. Mallory. Sige na, next na. Kasi sunod? Sige.
So, during the 1493 to 1496 medieval period,
Oh, everybody say medieval.
Medieval.
Medieval. Ano lagi? Medieval period. Dito siya, di ba? Sige. Sabi natin, medieval. Di ba? Yung para Renaissance inyo, no? Means that Renaissance. Oh, kaya siya, that's medieval. Mura kang mo post mo, juncture kadali sa medieval. Ano? Medieval period. Sige.
this English phrase gives as a glimpse of everyday English expressions of the 15th century.
Murag ilahang vocabulary book sa una.
So, one of the most striking things about the first book is the use of religious language.
Diba?
So, many of the praise begin with an invocation to God, such as, Sir, God sped you, or I pray you, tell me the truth. This reflects the deep religiosity of medieval
Yeah.
English society.
Ano ba? Medieval period. Medieval.
So, another interesting feature of the first book is the use of formal politeness. Even in simple conversation, it was customary or kaugalian to use the titles such as Sir and Madam. So, during that time, is dapat daw one kag formal politeness is dapat na siya ay Sir and Madam.
Pag-abot sa French, sa Mademoiselle. Mademoiselle. Oh, that is why the Sir Gawain. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Kabasa mo? Ay, perfect. Hindi na ko ata.
Perfect.
Sir, sa French book lang ka ng century.
So this shows that medieval English people were highly conscious of social status and So they, just like for example sa use of religious language. So an example is, pag-ingat ni Sir, good day. It means, I pray you tell me the truth, God save you, sir. Then sa formal politeness, ilang example is, Sir, I pray you tell me the way to the market. Madam, I would like to buy this dress. Then Master, I would like to open an account. So kung maggamit mo na, kung sa French pa na phrase mga language, ang ilang
Angkol.
Sa to ang
So the first book also contains a number of phrases that are no longer in use today, such as "I have a great desire to see the king," and "I am sorry to hear that you are ill." These phrases provide a glimpse into the different ways that people communicated in the 15th century.
naman ta. Ay, wala pa din.
Kasi nag-vlog.
O, sige. Next.
Next.
Kuna po. Ima na.
Chaucer. Chaucer. So, iba sa pangalan, dili man kayo kuan. Kaya, strict to research of pronunciation.
So, pwede na sa Chaucer.
Chaucer. Chaucer na kita.
Sorry, Don.
Sorry, madam.
So, si Jeffrey
Jeffrey na lang. Jeffrey.
Chaucer. The Canterbury Tales tells the story of a group of 31 pilgrims who meet while traveling from the Tower southward to the shrine of St. Thomas Becket in Canterbury. So let us know who is Geoffrey Chaucer. So si Geoffrey,
Okay, mga prominent writers in the middle.
English.
Yes. I hope na makatouch mo ang mystery plays, miracle plays, kay dominant kayo siya pag-abot sa Middle English. Kumbaga sa ato pa panahon sa Spanish period, ka na mga sinapulo, mga pabasa, mauna sa ilaha. Mga mystery plays, mga miracle plays, o kana siya. You know what sinapulo, di ba? It's actually the passion of Christ. Okay, anak siya. So napo na sa ila po actually nag-originate na mga dula, mga plays, miracles and mystery plays. Sige.
Si Jeffrey ang
Father of
English literature.
basig malibog mo ha, ani magud ang hitabo. Mga references nag-ingon nga ang father of English literature is William Shakespeare. Now po rin nag-ingon si Geoffrey Chaucer. Pero mostly, si Geoffrey Chaucer is father of English literature. Pero si William Shakespeare ang father of modern English literature. Kung anak niya ang distinction, Shakespeare. Pero si Geoffrey Chaucer wala mo di nga Middle English nga literature. Ang ingon lagi nga father of, sometimes sa mga references nga nag-ingon nga si Geoffrey Chaucer is father of English poetry. I don't know which is which. Sometimes each of one of us will give a story. Ang dili makahatag og story, no, sa buntag o na another story sa auto, meaning two of them, no, one of them will tell us two story. No? Maoy magtrabaho sa kanang mga household chores. O paghugas ng plato, madilhig. So maningkamot yun ang matagusa nga makahatag og story. 10 of them. Hanggang sa umabot siya ng 100 stories nga gi-storytell sa katong napulo ka tao. Mo nang gitawag nga Deca, which means 10. Decameron. Ibig sabihin, collection of 100 stories told by those people who were actually nihawa sila dito sa lugar where Black Death, the plague, Black Death is what we call the plague there. Para to pass the time, they can make a parang rules ba nga mag-tell sa story. Ang kay Geoffrey Chaucer pod, kaya na-inspire man siya sa Decameron, nagbuot po siya og frame story nga Canterbury Tales. Pasabot sa Tales, Canterbury Tales, kwento. mga kwento sa Canterbury. So, ang Canterbury pasabot din ha, it's a place in England. Oh, it's a story of group 31 pud iya ha, ka mga travelers. Kay uso man sa una ang religious journey. Para bisita iglesia na they are going to visit mga religious mga ano ba? Example, kanang priest kibali nga namatay na kay shrine man ang tawag sa una pag dito ka ilubong ari ka, hindi ba, or missionary ka, namatay ka, ang tawag sa kanang lubganan is shrine. Social, no? Mura siya ka kung sa pyramid pa na siya sa Egypt, wherein mummies are actually preserved. No? Sa ibabaw sa ilahang kuan, ibabaw sa ilahang tomb, nakaukit ang ilahang tarawng. Sa tawag nila, effigy ba na sa nila? Tawag na, something ana. Ang sa shrine, istatwag yun di mo. Kita hanay namatay. Kunya priest, kunya ibutang dito sa shrine or lubnganan sa mga relihiyoso. Ana or something ana. Buhatay kag statwa. So, gibisitahon na kay kumaingon kag pilgrimage is a religious travel or a religious journey. Pilgrimage. Di ba na nasa kanta? Oh, will pilgrims on a journey on this narrow road. Char. Oh, ana. Oh, so, balik ta hatong kanila niya lang the Parliament of Fowls or Falls. Ano man to? O kana, 31 pilgrims daw, o niya, they set into the journey. And then that journey, pag ingon nga pilgrims, di ba natin pilgrimage to Mecca sa mga Muslims? Katong maghikap sila og Kaaba, katong grabe katong dako nga bato, nga when they're going to touch the Kaaba, according to the Muslims, they're actually touching also the hands of Allah. I don't know how to pronounce that. Allah. Okay. Balik na dire. Ang 31 pilgrims na ilahin nag-status in life. Na ay priest, ni uban, na ay kanang sailors, na ay cook, physician, na ay plowman, na ay pardoner, na ay basta klase-klase sa kanang walks of life. Klase-klase, walks of life. Okay, so, ang ilahang plano, they are going to set into the journey nga dungan. Walay maguna. Dungan yun sila. And then, kung ibos nyo sa basahon is, they are foot travelers. Ibig sabihin, foot passenger. Ibig sabihin, mamaktas yun. Oh, kung naa kay kabayo, kay namin na-appeal na, nag-appeal nga knights, na may kabalyero na iban. Ang ipahinayan po niya ang kabayo o lakaw. Di na dapat siya maguna. That's their sabot. So, samtang ga-prepare sila for the journey, ang ilahang rendezvous, ang ilahang meeting place, naa sa Tabard Hotel or Inn. O, makita na siya sa Southwark, no? Sa Canterbury. Sa Canterbury nahitabo ang story. Okay. So, ang ilahang putumong adtuon ang lubnganan sa usa kana sikat nga kisang si St. Thomas of Becket. If you're going to put that you're going to read that in history, siya basta dako siya contribution in terms of sa religion. Okay. Karon samtang dito sila sa inn, mingaw, no? To pass the time on the journey, they decided to tell each of them two tales or stories. Pag adto nila dito og another two stories pagbalik. Mao nang plano, first plano ni Geoffrey Chaucer nga mo compose sa iyang stories. Kay 100 ang kay Boccaccio, 100 ang Decameron. Gusto niya lampasan ang 100 nga mudako pagyud ang iyang stories. Mura bag mahimo siyang mag-Guinness siya baga, nalampasan niya ang pinakadaghan og one story nga 100 ang composition in one frame, one frame story lang. However, itong si Geoffrey Chaucer, if you're going to read the biographical account, iyahang life story, siya og treason. Gi-filean siya og kaso nga treason. Sa treason, ang pagtataksil sa bayan. So, napriso siya. Actually, kaning Canterbury Tales, iyang gisulat ni katong nasa sa sulod sa prisuhan. Okay. Sige ha. Tanaw na to pila iyang plano nga stories. 31 math sa ta. 31 times 2
62.
oh, padulong dito. Even each of the traveler maghatag og story. Pag padulong nila dito, another 2 stories na po pabalik, pauli na. So 31 times 2 62, no? 31 62 plus 62 plus 62 mauna ang plano ni Geoffrey Chaucer sa mo-compose sa Canterbury Tales or Canterbury Stories. Pero, pautunan ako ang reporter, pilaray na mugna.
Sa story.
Yes, pilara ka buok. Di ba mula pa siya 100 bila? Oh, mula pa siya sa Decameron nga 100 stories. So malapas. Yes, there are only 24 of the stories nga nabuhat. Kano man, kay it was believed that Geoffrey Chaucer wala na contribute kay na dedo na siya sa prisuhan. Murag ana siya ang hagdan. But no, di ba? Wala mo kay buhaton nito sa prisuhan, syempre. Sulat nilang ka, di ba? Papuslan pa ka sa mga group of students karon sa ABSE English. Diba? O diba? So, yes, ano siya? Now, ang nindot po datong story class kay, now, ang general story, katuman, journey kibali. Nga naka-decide to sila, gihimo nilang game. Kung kinsa ang best storyteller, mahihimoon siya o murag libre ang panihapon, libre ang pamahaw, padulong dito, another libre na pod pabalik. Mo to nga, eager kaayo ang mga travelers nga, yes, sige, maghatag na og mga stories. And you know what? If we're going to look into the stories, ang story related sa ilahang life. Kintahay kung mag-talk about ang knights, mga kabalyero. Ang iyang story is all about a love story. Pero love triangle ang story. It's actually the story of Palamon and Arquite and Emily. Oh, nag-ano sila, nag-ilog sila sa usa ka babae, sa prinsesa. Ito sa story sa kabalyero. Kaya ano na, Knight's Tale, kung knight. Mo nang nakita niyo dito sa Canterbury, the Knight's Tale, the Pardoner's Tale, the Monk's Tale, the Priest's Tale. Ana ang iyahapong category sa Canterbury Tales. Sa Decameron, are you familiar with Don Federico's Falcon? Familiar? Wala? Pero napamantay frame story, dili lang Italian. Familiar mo sa 1001 Nights?
Yes.
Or commonly known as Arabian Nights. Oh, kuan pod na siya, frame story pod. Ang story ana is katubang ang sultan nga pag ipakasal siya sa usa ka babaye nga the day before sa ilahang wedding, iyahang na-discover nga ang iyahang pakaslan is na ay third party.
So,
Sa Middle English spelling. There you go.
so another literary piece of
Geoffrey Chaucer.
is the Parliament of
Wow. Mo gina ang original spelling. Pero ang iyang modern spelling is Parliament of FOWS. Ito yung modern na nga vowel, mga vowels.
Yes. So a 699 line poem in rhyme riddle by Geoffrey Chaucer, written in 1380 to 90, composed in the tradition of French romance, while at the same time questioning the merits of that tradition. This poem has been called one of the best educational verses in the English language. The often thought to commemorate the marriage of Richard II to Anne of Bohemia in 1382, it describes a conference of birds that meet to choose their mates on St. Valentine's Day. So it's all about gihapon siya love and courtship sa katulad sa birds.
Natingala ko anong associated man patingala mo anong associated kay Saint Valentine ang love. Tungod po na sa the commemoration of marriage of Richard II of Canacia. Diha siya ikuha idea No? Sa tingala ganit kung St. Valentine tapos ano related siya sa katong mga Cupid, gabi man ikana supposedly. Siguro pagdaan na siguro sa mga ano no.
Parang ikot pa na ba? I-edit-edit.
Kaya ang St. Valentine's Day, it's all about manggod siya.
I-edit na isa.
Kanang kuan ba? About marriage. Pero mo siya nga Heart's Day. Minamag, ano yung sa ato santo yan about St. Valentine. So Valentine's Day is about Saint na po siya. Oo. That is why in our religion, wala may Valentine's Day. Basta. Sige, sunod.
Sige na.
Marco
Ako na.
Polo.
Muna ka? Muna to?
Mark the answer. That's how I take it.
Sa kadro kay Juan. Sa kadro kay ay sa kay
Jeffrey.
Geoffrey. Okay, Geoffrey Chaucer.
Dahil na po na yun.
Travels by Marco Polo. Marco Polo recently got his own TV series as a
Are you familiar with Marco Polo?
Yes.
Katong Galion, familiar? Katong that's where the station na to. Wala siya. Wala siya. Marco Polo. Hotel ba na siya, sir? Nasa Davao. Dahil to. Wala siya traveler, Marco Polo. Sige, daw. Explain na kayo.
So Marco Polo recently got his own TV series was an Italian traveler was born in 1254. He dictated stories of his travels throughout Europe and Asia to a cellmate after he was imprisoned during a war between Venice and
Genoa.
And the travels was born. It became by medieval standards a bestseller 150 years before the invention of the first modern printing press. So,
Gapo na to, ako na sa mother. Modern. Modern. Pwede ba sa modern? Modern literature. Modern printing press. Sige.
Marco Polo born on
Ayun tawag sunog gaday. Ay, sunog gaday sa mga. Everybody say bored.
born 1254 in Venice, Italy. Died on January 8, 1324 in Venice.
Yes.
He is a Venetian merchant and adventurer who traveled from Europe to Asia in 1271 to 95, remaining in China for 17 of those years and whose second million.
Kasi si Marco Polo is a merchant. You know what merchant is? Businessman. Okay.
So, the purpose of Marco Polo in his travels is to spread Christianity to the ruling class of China and to
What are we going
establish.
to do? Medieval, di ba? Religious na exploration. Religious expedition.
And it's very significant because it is important introduction for Europeans to the history and geography of Central Asia and China. And of course, in Marco Polo's travel, he experienced a various, in Marco Polo's experience in his travels, he encountered or he witnessed a various different marriage customs. Like in a province called Fem in China, ang ilang bitong ko dito imo ang husband is gone for a journey back for almost or more 20 days. Nana sila kanang bitaw
yes, it was believed na si Pearl Point, the Pearl Point, pero wala ko kailangan ng Pearl Point na yan. Kasi uso sa una, mga mysterious writers. Oo, tapos especially sa mga Anglo-Saxons, wala yung food shy particular author. If you have noticed, ang Anglo-Saxons wala yung writer, di ba?
Yes.
Wala siya
Marami na Justine.
owned
Ang-
publicly
Diba wala
by
ito?
everybody, every Anglo-Saxon. Pag about sa Middle English, na mga corresponding writers. So, probably, Sir Gawain and Green Knight is part of, marag text siya nga although apart from Old English, pero wala siya author, anonymous.
So, the whole story about Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, this story teaches a great lesson about dishonesty.
Yes, infidelity and fidelity. Wala kaya mo yung ganina nga mata.
Are you familiar with the story?
Sige, hata na sa mga ka ng pinakadaling nga paraan ng
Okay, so siguro, dito na tayo dito sa part.
O na ay mga ginatawag nga psychosexual na mga
Tuloy ka ganahan ba?
Kada, murag, sige na lang, start na ito. Gawin, dali yun naman ako, sir.
Kasi din sino ko na ako na guys, ang Sir Gawain and the Green Knight.
Yeah. So, at
Part
first,
na siya sa kon ha. Part na siya sa Sir ano to? King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Kay there are 12 knights. Isa si Sir Gawain sa 12 knights ni King Arthur.
yeah.
Oh, nasa yung story. Ang iyang story is Sir Gawain. O ang iyang encounter sa Green Knight.
So, at first, niabot ang murag strange mo si Green Knight and murag nagdala siyang axe. Niabot pag si Sir ay katong si King Arthur ang mention ni Sir. Siya dapat ang panon sa axe but hindi ka nila umabot si Sir Gawain. Dapat siya nagabot sa Sparrow. Iyang gipunga ng axe. And then mo to ba? Iyang giputol ang liog ni Green Knight but Green Knight dili man siya mamatay. So, mo to siya nga. Iyang gi-challenge si Sir Gawain in the kanang specific nga adlaw. Ito nga adlaw, sir.
Basta kay Murag Holiday.
Yeah, it's in
Oh.
the holidays. Nga na, magkita daw sila sa Green Chapel in that specific
Kay
night.
misteryoso kaayo ang kabalyero kay Green tanan, yung kabayo Green, siya
Yeah,
Green,
green.
nagpuyo sa Green Chapel, ana.
Yung axe po.
Ang yapong kanang katong atsa,
Axe.
no? Di ba green, naputol iyahang kuan. Yung pag gigulitan iyang kuan. That's a blend still of magic.